Control your mind. Control your life. 10 Stoic lessons you need. Lesson 1. You are not your thoughts. Detach to regain control. Most people live as prisoners of their own minds. Thoughts come and they believe them. Emotions arise and they obey them. But a Stoic sees thoughts not as commands, but as suggestions. Your first step to controlling your life is realizing this one truth. You are not your thoughts. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That reaction begins with a single choice. Do I follow this thought, or let it pass like a cloud drifting through the sky? When you learn to observe your mind instead of obey it, you become free. Practice pausing. Don't react automatically. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it useful? Is it helping or harming me? This simple act of questioning will break the chain of automatic behavior that keeps you trapped. Freedom begins in the space between thought and action. And in that space, you reclaim your life. Lesson 2. Emotion is a signal, not a master. Emotions are not enemies, they're messengers. A Stoic doesn't ignore emotions, but he doesn't bow to them either. Anger, fear, envy, sadness, these are signs, not verdicts. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Emotions are often born from challenge, but challenge is where character is forged. So when you feel overwhelmed, don't resist it. Observe it. Ask, what is this feeling teaching me about myself? What belief must I let go of? Emotions often stem from expectations, attachments, or fear of loss. When you identify the root, you loosen the grip. Controlling emotions is not about suppressing them. It's about channeling them into awareness, direction, and clarity. Let your emotions inform you, but never let them rule you. Lesson 3. The obstacle is the path. Turn pain into power. Life will test you. Pain is inevitable, but suffering, that's optional. The Stoics believed that adversity is not a detour, but the actual road to greatness. Marcus Aurelius said it best. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This means that every difficulty, every painful moment is not an interruption. It's an invitation. You have two choices when you suffer: collapse or convert. Collapse into victimhood and lose your strength, or convert the pain into growth, into wisdom, into deeper focus. Most people seek comfort. The Stoic seeks clarity. Start asking different questions. What is this pain refining in me? What strength is this struggle building? Turn your pain into your practice. Let every obstacle sharpen your will, discipline your mind, and forge your spirit. This is how you become unbreakable. Lesson 4. Master the present moment. It's all you truly own. Most anxiety comes from worrying about the future. Most sorrow comes from regretting the past. But your only point of power is now. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, confine yourself to the present. In a world addicted to distraction, the Stoic sharpens his attention like a blade. The present is where life happens. It's where strength is built, where focus lives, and where action matters. Controlling your life means controlling your presence. Can you be fully here, now, without drifting into worry or distraction? Start small. Focus on your breath, on the task at hand, on the person in front of you. Eliminate multitasking. Reclaim your attention. The more present you are, the more powerful you become. The Stoic doesn't escape into fantasies. He meets the moment fully. and in doing so, he changes the course of his life. Lesson 5. Choose response. Overreaction. Reactivity is slavery. If you lash out every time you're angered or fold every time you're afraid, your mind is not your own. But Stoicism trains us to pause, to reflect, and to respond with intention. Epictetus again. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. That's real power. Practice the pause. That breath between trigger and action is where transformation begins. Do not speak in anger. Do not act in fear. Let the emotion arise. Watch it, and then choose. When you control your response, you control your character. And when you control your character, you begin to shape your destiny. Reaction is instinct. Response is mastery. Lesson 6. Discipline your desires. Crave less. Live more. Desire is a double-edged sword. While it can drive ambition, uncontrolled desire is the root of suffering. The Stoics believed that freedom begins not with getting everything you want, but with wanting less. Epictetus warned, freedom is not achieved by satisfying desire, but by eliminating it. We live in a world that constantly screams, you need more. More status, more things, more attention. But every desire you obey becomes a chain. And soon you're not living. You're chasing. True Stoic power is found in the restraint to say no. No to impulse, no to addiction, no to the need for approval. It's the ability to find stillness and simplicity, joy in moderation, and peace in presence. Start by identifying your strongest craving. What do you feel you can't live without? Then test it. Walk away from it for a day, then a week. Reclaim your power by proving to yourself that you are not ruled by your urges. He who controls what he craves controls how he lives. Lesson 7. Embrace voluntary discomfort. Harden the mind. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from challenge, from hardship, from choosing the harder path when it would be easier to avoid. Seneca practiced what he called voluntary discomfort, periods of minimal living, exposure to cold, fasting, and rejection of luxury. Why? Because hardship reveals strength. Because if you only thrive when life is easy, you will crumble when it's not. A Stoic trains his mind by training his will. He embraces adversity before it arrives so that when it does, it no longer frightens him. You don't need to suffer needlessly, but you do need to choose moments of purposeful discomfort. Wake early, train hard, fast occasionally, do what is difficult. These actions sharpen your edge. They make you mentally untouchable. The man who chooses discomfort voluntarily is never broken by it when it arrives. Walking away is an act of strength. Sometimes the greatest flex is silence. Sometimes the most powerful response is absence. To walk away from drama, from arguments, from environments that drain you, is to choose self-respect. Marcus reminds us, your dignity is not negotiable. You don't need to prove anything to those who misunderstand you. You don't need to win every argument. You don't need to stay in every room you're invited to. Detachment is stepping out so your soul can breathe again. And in that breath you rise. Lesson 9. Live by nature. Accept what you cannot control. The Stoics taught that we suffer most when we resist reality. Nature has its course. Things live and die, rise and fall. Trying to control the uncontrollable is the root of chaos in the mind. Marcus Aurelius reminds, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Acceptance is not giving up. It's waking up. It's saying, this is what is. Now what can I do with it? Instead of wishing life were easier, wish to be stronger. Instead of resisting fate, flow with it. Like water that shapes itself around the rocks and keeps moving forward. Next time you're faced with something outside your control, a delay, an insult, a loss, take a breath and say, it is not up to me, but my response is, live in harmony with nature, not in argument with it. That's peace. Lesson 10. Death is the greatest teacher. Live urgently, memento mori. Remember that you must die. This wasn't a morbid thought to the Stoics. It was a compass, a reminder to stop wasting time, to stop fearing embarrassment, to stop delaying your life. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." When you remember death, you sharpen your focus. You realize that today is not just another throwaway moment. It's a slice of your limited existence. And it demands your presence, your purpose, your discipline. What have you been putting off? What hard truth have you avoided? What dreams are sitting in the corner, collecting dust? A Stoic uses death to wake up, to live now, to speak truth, to act boldly, not recklessly, but urgently. Don't wait to control your mind. Don't wait to become who you know you are meant to be, because time won't wait for you.